Hi. 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 How are we doing? How's it going? I think I have everything set up. How are we doing? How's it going? Mr. Saras, you have picked a very interesting first stream to pop. Is this your first stream? Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna be doing something a little different today. How are you doing? How's it going? How was your Christmas? How was it? I also have to like readjust to this model. It's a lot more like bouncy and reactive. So like when I like throw my head around, I'm like, whoa, ah. I'm gonna be doing as much. Grinding hard, a lot of work and work and work. I feel. I feel as you're about to see, because I have entrance exams for graduate school. And it's very much the case where I'm like, well, at one point I learned how to do this, but I haven't done it in like 2 or 3 years. So I'm like reteaching myself like quantum mechanics and like thermodynamics and E&M. I'm like, why? Why are we here? Just to suffer? Veteran? Oh. Yeah, no. You don't do physics, do you? Don't worry. Yeah, no. Yeah. Like, I'm sure you're not me. Ah, I don't know. I am so tired. I am also maybe slowly getting a little sick, which I'm sure Grim's gonna pop in here and be like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? But I'm falling behind. I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill out on Christmas Eve, Christmas, and I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna be with family, which are paradoxical because Lamau being with family is stressful. But so I did that, and then I was like, cool. Now, day after Christmas, I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna get back in the rhythm of things. I'm gonna study. Oh, I forgot the ad break is gonna run. Physics, the depths of masochism. You veteran, not me. All big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm crazy. I'm one of those. I'm crazy. I just, I really want. I want to do physics. I want to do the hardest subject I could possibly think of and slowly lose my mind. All right, finish getting set up because I have a lot to cover. Because basically, I got home from Christmas with my family and immediately started feeling sick. Only depth can raise questions. True. Yeah, I guess so. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of returning back to surface level. Surface level. Just how in the fuck do I do quantum mechanics? How do I do this? How do I be a smart bitch? This has been so long. This is definitely gonna be a little scuffed, but let's start with Hi. We have real cam. Immersion break warning. Immersion break. Because you're gonna see how much I move my hands around. But I am a big fan of pen on paper. I know there's all these programs where I could write directly onto the computer and virtual notes and blah 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 blah. No. I write pen on paper. Feet cam. I'm not showing you all my feet. No. It's actually really funny though, because I was in like finger cam. There you go. Yeah. You wanna see the fingers? Oh god. Oh, this is a terrible, terrible idea. But yeah. Yeah, no, I was saying. Oh god, not the liquor, not the liquor. Oh, right. I was hanging out in an IRL friend of mine's stream, and some like a random viewer came in, and like they saw me chatting in there, and they were like, "Oh, lady, oh my, hmm, Sophie." And I was like, "This bitch really thinks I'm just gonna show him V. I'm like, what's in it for me? What's it to you?" And he's like, "I'd send you, I'd send you nudes in return." And I'm like, "Bitch, if I wanted that, I could just Google hot furry on Google, you know? Why do I need to see that?" Oh no. Hi, Grim. Are you here? And Kim? Hi. Hello. Hi. Oh god. Yeah, no. Little and Kim, because I don't believe in the virtual notes. I don't think it works so well, you know? Just pen on paper. Oh boy. No, you're all good, Sarah. Grim, remember how I just mentioned being like, yeah, slowly dying. I'm gonna stream a little. Oh no. The way that it's kicking in so much faster than I thought it would. I was like, oh, it's mentioning you all the time. Who ordered the funeral? Me, apparently. Me, evidently. Oh, God. I'm so mad at my family because, like, I was talking with them. Oh, it's an Arcanite song. I like it a lot. It's very comforting. I was like talking with my family before Christmas, and they were like, oh, can you come home a little early for Christmas and whatnot? Um, and I was like, I have like stuff to do. I don't want to. And then they mentioned like, oh yeah, and like we're all like sick and dying with the flu right now. And I'm like, you're what? What? What do you mean? What do you mean you're sick and dying with the flu? What are you talking about? And you want me to come home earlier, spend more time? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm sure that they'll feel better. And like the next day, they were like, holidays aren't important as health, literally. And so they were like, yeah. But like, my family was like, yeah, but like, the next day they were like, yeah, I'm feeling better, you know, I'll be fine. And I'm like, have we learned nothing? Have we learned absolutely nothing? How diseases work? That means you're still a fucking carrier, you fucking idiot. There's such a word. I am working, I have no time. Yeah, but I technically was on break. Like my main job, I'm not working, so. Hold on, maybe I'm just overheating. Let me take my jacket off. Hold on. God damn it. I want to stream. Hi, Bobby. Hi. Hello. Hi. I was in fact wearing my like buff up Apari jacket. I'm hoping that's it. I might need to like hop into it as quickly as possible and like get into a rhythm. You're fine, but there will be no feed cam. No feed cam. Hi. Hold on. That's fine. There. Yeah, no. For those, I don't normally do little streams like this, but I basically lost the last 2 days to feeling kind of crummy. So I didn't really have time to like continue studying. Um, there's no command, Sarah. There's no command. But yeah. I need to be studying. But I was like, I want to stream a little. I want to do a little stream. I'm slowly dying. But yeah. What wait, where's that? Oh. You got another 6 hour long problem to solve or what? Grim, you joke. You joke. But it is like that. It fucking is. You joke. I don't. Um, where's the problem? Hold on. Let me just test it with this one. Okay, so the image is there. Oh, are you so big? I was like 10% joking, to be fair. Hold on. It's not the image I want. I want this one. There we are. I was like, where is it? Lord. Welcome to my hell. Welcome. Welcome, fuckers. This is quantum mechanics. And you may look at this and go, okay, that looks like kind of a fucked up problem. That doesn't look super, super fun. Oh, just you wait. Because this right here is part one of so many. This is all one problem. They're just fucking making a black hole map. Funny you mention that. I made this my background. This is how I feel when I stare right into physics. I'm like, ah yes, time to do physics. Oh, cool. And the road I'm going, it slips away. But yeah, fortunately, this little bit is honestly probably the easier part of the problem. We've got, in a one-dimensional space, consider the quantum mechanics of a particle trapped in a potential well of infinite height. So you got, I need ventilation in my head. You'll be fine, you know? Yeah. Oh, do you like my new bracelet? Lobotomy time? Yeah. But yeah, so you got your V is equal to 0 within the well. Ignore my terrible, terrible handwriting. We're not going to look at that. Between 0 and A, and then we've got between infinity otherwise. Have you considered the quantum mechanics of a particle trapped in an infinite well fit to infinite height? Yeah. This is unfortunately baby's first quantum mechanics problem. It is one particle trapped in a well of infinite potential because, very good, because you've got Schrodinger's equation, your time-independent Schrodinger's equation, which just looks like negative I h bar over... I'm drawing the proper one, aren't I? I'm doing the wrong one. I'll show you a well of infinite height. I have notes. No, I was drawing it right. 2m d squared phi over dx squared d phi. This right here, time independent Schrodinger's equation. All particles obey Schrodinger's law, which like fully looks more fucked up than this one is. But basically, whatever particle function you write has to obey this. Gotta obey that. And then also, since how do I basically particles like to exist. And I see these clickbait scientists are so afraid of this videos on YouTube, like quantum physics shit. And I'm like, same though. Yeah. But basically, how do I describe this? Largely speaking, as this is technically another simplified version of it. Technically, there's also a term where it's like plus v of x phi, where it's basically like, yeah, you add in the potential energy, but if the potential energy goes to infinity at a certain area, that means that the particle has to go to 0, because you can't have infinite energy. So it basically means that this is not valid unless there is no particle there. So your particle must exist somewhere in the well. It must exist somewhere in there. It's the only spot the potential is 0. There you are. So when that v of x is equal to 0, you have, let me actually read out the full problem. First, single particle is trapped in there. Define the energy of the nth eigenstate and discounted system in the normalized eigenfunction, blah, blah, blah. So basically, you have the case where it must satisfy this equation. It's got to satisfy it. Always must satisfy it. You also have your phi at x equals 0 must equal phi of x equals a, which must equal 0. Because phi and anything less than 0 or greater than a must be 0, because it can't exist there, remember? So this is our boundary condition. forgot how to divide sometimes. Same. So you have to find an equation that satisfies this condition and this condition. So there's two really annoying things about quantum mechanics. One, for this given kind of function, you kind of have to already know what the function's going to be before you start doing it. Otherwise, you just have to try a bunch of equations to see if they work. I have done this before, and I remember what they are. So let me try something like 5x is equal to a sine kx plus b cosine kx. Because this function is really nice, because sine and cosine are nice cyclical functions. So when we plug this equation into the Schrodinger equation, we get something like negative h bar squared 2m times, and we take the second derivative of both of these, so we get k squared a sine kx plus k squared. Or actually, this should be negative, and this should be negative k cosine kx. And can I explain how derivatives work? No, that would take too long. But trust me, it goes to that. It looks like writing, alien writing. Yep. Oh, believe me, it gets so much worse than this. But this is equal to energy times a sine kx plus b cosine kx. And so if you pull your k squared, or your negative k squared out of there, you get h bar squared k squared over 2m equals times 5x equals 5x, which gives you energy is equal to h bar squared k squared over 2m. Yay! You have your energy. However, k is just a variable that I pulled out of my ass, which is not good. We need to solve for k to actually solve the problem. So to solve for k, we go back to the boundary conditions. The boundary. So we have to get phi of 0 must equal 0. Therefore, a sine k of 0 plus b cosine k of 0 must equal 0. Which, if you remember trigonometry, which you probably don't, because I don't remember it either, sine of 0, this goes to 1. Cosine of, or no, this goes to 0. Cosine of 0 goes to 1. Therefore, if this side is going to equal 0, b has to equal 0. B equals 0. Boom. Cosine, get the fuck out of here. We don't care about you anymore. So we have our 5x is equal to a sine kx. Yay! Now we also have that phi a must equal 0. There we are. We understand quantum mechanics. It means you don't understand quantum mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Which, again, you do the same kind of thing. You get a sine of ka must equal 0. So sine goes to 0. Or theta is equal to, hi Conquer, hi, 0, pi, 2 pi, etc. Goes to that for all values of theta. So basically, for any value of a that we put in here, it must equal one of these variables. Therefore, k is equal to pi over a. So whatever value of a that we put in there, it's always going to be some numerical value of n times pi. Where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 dot. Yay! So now that we have k, we have our little, we can plug that back into energy. We have energy is equal to h bar squared over 2m times n pi over a squared equal to h bar squared a squared n squared over 2ma squared. Oh. Sorry, I won't interfere with the black hole build. Oh god. And then boom, you have your nice energy. So we wanted energy first. From the energy eigenstates. The event is counterform in the lowest energy system and the normalized eigenvalue function, which that we already found. That goes to y of n is equal to, can't see what I'm writing, a sine y n over a x. Well, eigenstaked, eigenbaked, am I right? Oh, I wish. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's part one of the problem. Next, let us assume there's two particles trapped. Oh god, there's two of them now. So next, let's assume there's two particles of masses m1 and m2, which are distinguished from each other, have been trapped in the same well. Yeah, the spin degree of function is ignored, no interaction between them. Cool. So now we have two particles. Hey! Which makes this problem so much more annoying. So we get into this stuff. This fucking bullshit. Let's write the coordinates of the particles vx1 and x2 respectively. Using vx1 and vx2, write the time-independent Schrödinger equation with the wave function for this two-particle system satisfies. And the energy eigenvalue is E. Yay! So, to write that out, we have how do I do this again? I imagine like that. Using VX1 and VX2.
Oh, I know how to do this one. You...
You get there, Shadow? You get it? Once we use VX1 and VX2... Shadow, are you okay? Sometimes you ask your brain why it torments you so much. Yeah. These moments. Why is it still going? Don't know. uh, um, using VX1 to VX2 at the time. Do I just also need to toss in? Is that what you want? What do you want from me? Do you need a plus? Gotta be a plus, right? All the time. Oh, I think I get what it's getting at. Right? This what it wants. Mm. Mm. What you want? This is one thing that I dislike about this, that I do not have the answer key for this, so I can't necessarily verify if that's what it wants. Mm. Oh, no, it does want that. And then, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we have I have x1 and x2 can be written as x1, x2 equals fg and g of x2. Write the Schrodinger equation satisfied by f of x1 and a of x2. Here the energy eigenvalues are e of f, in addition to the relation between e and the question 2. Okay, that's fair enough. So taking this motherfucker of an equation just wants us to plug in I would say it's gonna get harder for me to like kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm going, because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. At a certain point, I don't know what's going on, and I'm just kind of guessing. So we have h squared over 2m d squared dx1 squared writing it as f of x1 g of x2 minus h bar squared over 2m2 d squared x2 squared 1. I am also rapidly dying. It's funny because I was like, I was doing a little more prep like before this, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, why don't I just also stream this? Why the fuck not? Might as well. I'm just doing this. This is what I'm gonna be doing for the day. And I'm like, eh. The moment I clicked go live and I started yapping, I was like, oh, oh, right. Streaming drains much more energy out of me than just vibing with my thoughts. And the more I talk, the more quickly I die. Stupid. Yeah. Yep. Equals energy of x1, j of x2, and unlikely. This equation finally is a long question. How much worth can a woodchuck chuck? No. No. But it can solve the probability of a woodchuck having wood, given a specific energy state. Maybe. I don't know. I might eventually get there, you know. Um, so yeah, we get a little and then we have our beautiful little, we are given the energy eigenvalues, epsilon of f and epsilon of g. Cool. The eigenvalues are these to m1 of eigenvalue of f squared. Let's go plus now. So g of x2 plus h bar squared over 2m eigenvalue of g squared x1 g of x2 c f x1 g of x2 cancel those out. You get your energy is equal to h bar squared over 2m times bar squared over 2 times f squared over m1 plus eigenvalue of g squared over m2, right? That's what it should want. Remember this that to the energy values of yeah, that should be what it wants. What the fuck is a fermion? You look up. Google stupid. You're right. I did get a little rage baited. If I remember correctly, a fermion is just a particle that's not allowed to exist in the same energy state as another particle. So, like, electrons are fermions. They have to be in different spin states to both exist. Whereas, what's the opposite of fermion? I can't remember. Hold on. Now you've got me curious. Fermion. Can't fucking type. Where's my mouse? There it is. Fermion versus fermion. Matter like electrons, quarks have half integer spin and obey Pauli's exclusion principle. Meaning, no, da, 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 da. Okay, I guess you're right. Bosons. That's the other one. Bosons, force carriers like photons and gluons, have integer spins 0, 1, and 2, and do not obey this principle, allowing them to clump together. Yeah. Difference is spin. Yeah. Oh, I do remember, right? Yay. Subatomic particles such as the nucleon with half speed integral. Yep. Baryons. Don't know. The particle that makes you into a furry. The sweat particle that Buff Pup produces. Is that a furryon? Is that what that is? Bum bum ba da bum ba da ba da bum bum ba da bum ba da ba da bum ba da ba da bum ba da. So technically, this value is also equal to h squared pi squared over 2a squared 1 over m1 plus 1 over m2. Because they're kind of the same. That's for ground state, now that I think about it. Which I'm getting ahead of myself a little. Oh, I'm running it wrong because of the stupid notation. That is one thing that I kind of despise, is that, like, people like to use different notation for different things, and I'm like, is this simple what I think it means, or is it something else? But what? The speed velocity of an unladen swallow. Whatever do you mean? African or European? Sorry, I'm writing this wrong. K of F, K of G, which just means that E is equal to E of F plus E of G. Yay! That's the end of that problem. Right. Yep, that's fine. The ground state energy of ground state energy is just when n equals 1 for both of them. And since they are non-interacting, then we don't have to care about that. Is that why you saw fermion? Did you see it? Reread again. Fermions are a fucking bitch. I hate them. Yeah. I thought that's when it came up when you looked up, like, the questions to annoy your physics friends. I'm helping you study, what the fuck? Thank you, Krim. Thank you. Yeah, ground state energy. You got. Yeah, when you're looking for your ground state energy, we have their E is equal to h squared pi squared over 2a squared times n f squared over n plus n g squared over m2. God, I'm dying. I kind of want to solve this problem and then maybe call it there. That does assume that I can actually solve this problem. But yeah, this is our energy equation. So ground state is just n=1 for both of these. And you get energy is equal to h bar squared pi squared over 2a squared times 1 over m1 plus 1 over m2. Boom. Ground state. Love to see it. Why can't I move this image? God damn it, there are too many things open. Hello? Please? Can I make you bigger? No? Yay, we're breaking. Anyways, find the energy in the first and second excited states. Express the corresponding eigenfunction as necessary to determine question 1. Assume that m1 is less than m2, which is less than 8 over 3m1. I just think you're writing the same thing, but you wrote it faster. Yeah, these are the same thing. I was getting out of myself. What is this? Yeah, well. Because I was looking at some of my other notes from when I was working on this earlier, being like, what the fuck was I doing? What? I looked at like look, I've been doing this for a while. I looked at like a generic version of this problem, not specifically this one. And I've just been this has been my life recently. Just how the fuck do I do this? This has been my motherfucking life recently. What was I doing? Oh yeah, first and second states. Well, so we have m1 is less than m2, which is less than 8 over 3 m1. So doing that. The mad scratching Sebastian. Literally, that's how I feel sometimes. So, since we have m1 is less than m2, that means that this term right here is going to be larger than this one, since it's less than. Yeah. So we want for the next lowest one, we want n of f equals 1. We want g equals 2, because that gives us energy is equal to squared I squared over 2a squared times 1 over m1 plus 4 over m2, which this, just to double check, right? This should be energy 1 of the first excited state. Let me just double check. Over 4 over m1, 1 over 2. But if m2 is less than that, right, let's get this in terms. Let's just say it was equal to it. This would go to 12 over 8 plus 1. Versus right, 4. Right. Oh, I'm being dumb. No, I just flipped it around. I was like, that's not right. Guys. Guys, is it okay? And this is a very, very short stream. Like, it's honestly, I'm tempted to do this again because honestly, this has been a very productive hour of my life. And paradoxically, I am like getting more done and like studying more because I'm on stream and it's like kind of pseudo forcing me to stay on task. On the other hand, I feel my body rapidly deteriorating. I explained at the start of the stream that like I went home for the holidays, and right before the holidays, my entire family was sick. They were all sick, and I was like, bitch, why am I coming home for the holidays then if you were all sick? And like, oh, but we're all doing better now. And I'm like, yeah, but you weren't feeling good literally yesterday. What are you talking about? And I'm like, God, fine, I'll go home. I'll go for the holidays. I'll hang out. So I did that. And then, like, I get home and I immediately conked out for 6 hours. And I was like, oh no. Okay, it's fine. This could just be exhaustion. This could be fine. I like made dinner, got ready for bed, and then I went to bed again, thinking like, oh, I already slept for 6 hours. I'm probably gonna sleep that much. I slept another 9 hours. And I was like, oh no. No, 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 honey. Oh no, that's not good. And then I was trying to get stuff done yesterday and I could not bring myself to do it. And I was like, shit. And then I woke up this morning and I'm like, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got this. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. And I was like feeling okay, but not 100%. But I was like, okay, I have lost time. I need to like be studying and preparing for like this bullshit. So you know what? I'm gonna do it on stream. I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna say hi, I'm gonna yap a little bit, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna study because I have to do this. Because I have to prepare, and I have to refresh, and I have to learn, and I have to blah 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 blah. All that fun stuff. And I click to go live, and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this. And then I start talking, and I'm like, oh, I have not actually talked in like 2.5 days. I'm going to grind Warframe. Have a wonderful time. I really wish I could be doing that right now. But I started talking and I was like, oh, I am rapidly losing energy. I am losing energy so fast right now. Like normally, I start to die around the 4-hour mark and I'm like, oh no. Oh, my body was not ready for me to do this right now. So here, I'm gonna go find someone to raid. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna take care of myself. And I want to say maybe I can continue this tomorrow. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Even took a Tylenol. Took a Tylenol. And my headache is getting worse. And I'm like, cool. Love to see that. Anyways, before I find the rain, do you like? Do you like? Do we like? Do we like the modified outfit? I fucked around with it. Nothing is playing Ghost of Yate. Oh, let's go napping then. Hold on. Over here. Yeah, I fucked around. I fucked around with the outfit. Because I was like, the Christmas alliance. Get out of here, Christmas. I also. I also, again, I messed with the face for. Even for the Christmas one. I love it. I love it. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, I do know what I did, but like, the makeup looks so hot. Makeup is so good. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bond. Love to see it. God, I love this song. We're gonna go to Appen. Go to here. We'll go Stream Manager. We go Raid. Following. We're going to Appen. We're going over there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Sorry, it was such a short stream. I was very much just like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Let's try a short little stream. I'm gonna be a little lower energy. I'm gonna chill out a little, but I'm just gonna be working on what I need to. And I can yap with you guys every once in a while. It'll be good. Thank you for showing me what math looks like. I almost forgotten. Yeah. And I do want to try doing this again. I have about 2 more weeks before my actual exam, so I do need to be studying rather than gaming. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and I can teach you things. Wow! But I'm gonna do that when I'm not dying. So yeah, thank you for coming to this little test stream. I'll see you next time. Bye.